Hello and welcome to Telling Tinder Tales.
With me, Thomasin Lockwood.
And me, Chris O'Neill.
Coming to you live from Edinburgh Fringe.
Yes, indeed we are coming live from Edinburgh Fringe, and I'm still alive. It's early in the Fringe. I'm not done dying yet, which is good. Excellent, very good.
Well, just before we start, I'll say the reason why we are sounding so perky is it's still quite early on in the Fringe. We have lots of shows to see. I'm looking forward to seeing Animal Farm with you tomorrow.
Yes, our wonderful producer is involved in Animal Farm, and I don't know the plot of Animal Farm, of course. Oh, I do. I'm wrong. How appropriate in this modern world where, more or less, autocracy has been defeated. Oh no, I'm in the wrong universe. That's fine. Yeah,
maybe I spoke too soon about the whole perky thing. But one thing I would like to add is, our wonderful producer, Lucy, is stage managing Animal Farm, and the twist is, it's performed entirely by one dude. So all the narration, all the animals, it's gonna be a good time.
Who have we got today?
We have a wonderful guest called Sami. Sami, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I'm also perky, but like in the early Fringe sense.
Yes, you're still rested.
I'm very well rested. I slept for about 13 hours last night for the first time in about 3 weeks.
Ooh,
so
look at you.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself.
I'm Sami Abu Wardeh. I have a Fringe show up this year. It's called Palestine Peace de Resistance, but peace is spelled P-E-A-C-E. So yeah, I'm a comedian and an actor and a writer, like everyone else is really. I'm Palestinian and I'm also Irish. I was born in Kuwait, and I then was moved around the world many times after after the invasion of Kuwait. Thank you, Saddam Hussein. And I then found myself in the UK, and I've been here for 20 odd years. What, 2025 now? Yeah, just over 20 years. God. And I've been making comedy for about 10 years, and I'm currently in Edinburgh with my second solo hour.
So, Sami, tell us your dating story, please.
My dating story relates to when I was at the Fringe a few years ago. I was on a dating app, and I matched with a lovely woman, and we were chatting, and we arranged a date, and she arranged childcare for her children for the night, and we were meant to just meet up for a casual drink or a coffee, whatever. And then at the last minute, I was invited to a show. You probably know the show. It's called something like a gorilla sits in a rocking chair for an hour, and it's a one-off, right? And I thought, like, I don't want to miss this, and I kind of also want to hang out with my friends. So I texted her and I said, hey, do you want to see this show instead? And we turn up to the show, and I basically forced her to sit through watching a gorilla in a rocking chair for an hour with people throwing bananas at the gorilla and all sorts of stuff. And everyone was unhappy, except for me. Everyone was unhappy because she didn't get her date. And my friends felt quite awkward that I brought, a person that no one had ever met before to kind of hang out. She was lovely, and yeah, we got on really well, but it was kind of lose all round, except for maybe the gorilla and me. So that's sort of that's my dating story. It's entirely my fault what happened, and I do feel I almost feel bad.
My first question, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Is how did you pitch it to her that this would be a good date?
Yeah, I said this is only going to happen once for the whole Fringe. You're going to love it. I've heard great things about it. And she was she kind of, I don't know if it was politeness or it's because, I do comedy. Maybe she trusted my opinion. Maybe that was her first mistake. And she was just like, yeah, sure, let's check it out. She was just very confused for the entire hour. She didn't know.
She didn't like it?
She was very polite about it, but I think maybe it wasn't for her.
Who is it for?
The gorilla show?
Yeah.
I think it's for me.
The gorilla show is a thoroughly weird thing.
Yeah.
It's one of the most iconic shows at the Edinburgh Fringe.
Yeah.
But it is certainly a 0.2% population thing. It's not anymore.
It's not for everyone.
So what happens?
In the show, a gorilla sits on a rocking chair for an hour, I think, and it's always sold out.
So nothing happens.
No, things happen. The gorilla sits in the rocking chair for an hour and rocks gently, sometimes doesn't. The gorilla will make small movements that keeps the entire audience on their tippy toes.
And you guys, like, do you not get bored and start talking to each other? Was the date not trying to be like, so Sami, like, where are you from?
I think she did a couple of times, but I didn't respond.
And you were like, shut up, you're going to miss the gorilla
It's
rocking.
like, we can't really, we have to focus on the gorilla, sorry. Yeah.
And it's not, so it's just a guy in a gorilla costume.
Well, I don't know the gender. It could be anyone in a gorilla costume.
The title of the show and the summary of the show is a young man dressed as an old man dressed as a gorilla walks on stage and sits for an hour, 55 minutes, and leaves. Is the full title of the show, I think, because we in PBH run it, and nobody, including me, and I program the shit, doesn't knows who's in the gorilla suit. That's the big thing. Nobody has a clue who's in the gorilla.
See, vibe.
But you total Banksy, but with more weirdness.
What you can do is then spread rumors about yourself being in the gorilla show, or somebody who you're trying to sort of either ruin or build up the reputation of being in the gorilla suit. So that's happened as well. Nobody knows.
No, it is unknown. Because I have access to the database where we fill in the form, and I don't know who fills it in.
Wow.
It's locked.
You know what I would have loved that story to end is if she and the gorilla would have left to that.
That would have been nice, wouldn't it? Yeah. I would have punched the gorilla in the face if he did that. No.
Quite a dangerous thing to do at that particular.
Yeah, no. Just to note, you're not allowed to interact with the gorilla. You're not. I think there are rules against like touching the gorilla.
Yeah.
Although the audience are encouraged to interact with the show in general and call things out. But I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to touch the gorilla.
And the one question I have is the show is 55 minutes because that's in the title. Did you go somewhere afterwards?
I think we just went for a drink and we hung out with my friends really, and we just had a lovely evening together, and that was it.
When you say you had a lovely evening,
Yeah.
I don't think we had a lovely evening. I think you had a lovely evening. Is an executive summary.
We the royal we. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel bad for this woman because not only did her date get usurped by the gorilla, but even the tale that you're telling on our podcast has been usurped by the gorilla.
Now all we're talking about is the gorilla.
Gorilla.
Yeah, that's right. Which is kind of the point, I guess.
The gorilla has ended. The gorilla has entered the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
Honestly, you're winning me round. I kind of want to see the show.
Yeah.
Oh, you won't get in. It's
Yeah.
mad busy. You queues for hours to get into the thing.
Yeah.
It's a 200-seater and it's full.
Well, if you match with some guy on Tinder, you can always take him on a date.
Very good. Excellent. So, was there a second date? Is the next question.
No, I think it was just the one. I think that it was one of those things where everyone's busy and you kind of...
It's less memorable, the second date. There's no gorilla.
There's no gorilla, right? Yeah. I could have dressed up as one. Or even better, dressed her up as one.
Can you imagine if you come in as a gorilla for the second date? Like, remember this?
Sweet memories of our first
Orient,
date.
I think, in many ways. So, yeah. I think we probably need to move on from another show that we're not plugging. It doesn't need any plugging because it'll fucking sell out on its own, right?
No, let's talk about the gorilla.
Your show, Sami. Would you like to tell us?
So in
about
my
you?
show, I dress up as a gorilla. My show is called Palestine Peace de Resistance. Peace is spelled P-E-A-C-E. And it's on at the Pleasance at 9:45 in the evening. It's sort of a response to the last 2 years of what's happening in Palestine. And it's been a real challenge to make. It's an hour of comedy, definitely, and that has been the challenge, is making an hour of comedy that talks about what's going on at the same time as talking about my complex identity, having two parents from two colonized pasts. Well, I say past. My father's, my Palestinian family is still very much being colonized, and then being born in a third unrelated country. And it's storytelling. It's about a third of it is storytelling, and it's mixed with clown, and it's heavily influenced by a comic called Dave Allen, who many people will be aware of, but maybe the newer generations won't. My mum used to show me clips of Dave Allen, so it's heavily influenced by him, his style. So if you see the show, you'll immediately recognize the reference if you know Dave Allen already. I've also mixed down a few like tracks where I sample Edward Said, and I've taken a Winston Churchill speech and completely butchered it to use against what's going on right now. And so that's something you have to look forward to. But yeah, I kept it brief, just like you asked. Thank you. Yeah.
Listen, Sami, you sound incredibly passionate about this subject, so I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic show.
Thanks.
It is on my list.
Sweet.
So thank you very much, Sami. Much
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We have, of course, one more thing to do. This person hasn't yet appeared, but will appear. And it's Danny Ward, who's doing a show called The Holiday at 12 noon every day in the Banshee Labyrinth Chamber Room. Danny is very funny indeed, and you should go and see him. And he's part of PBH Free Fringe.
And his episode's coming out in September, so keep an eye out.
Thank you, Sami. You're very kind to come.
Thank you.
Now, words. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Telling Tinder Tales is hosted and produced by me, Chris O'Neill, and Thomasin Lockwood. Produced and edited by Lucy Regan, with music by Kinkas Moreira. It's a Jesters Comedy Dublin production and is no way affiliated with or endorsed by Tinder. If you have a story to tell, please get in touch. Details are in the show notes. And if you like us, instead of swiping right, follow us on Instagram and or TikTok at Telling Tinder Tales.